So yeah, that was a rude awakening. But it's no worse than what these companies do right now with these cell phones and shit. I mean, they get everybody hooked.
Yeah,
it's a bunch of dope where they got all your data and shit. They know who you fuck, where you move, how you shit, how many steps you take.
If we'll all talk about, say, let's take a trip to Cabo right now. United Airlines will send me, hey man,
I ask people all the
time.
Cabo.
You're like, how the fuck they just know that I'm talking about? You don't do this shit.
You ain't seen that documentary?
Yeah, social dilemma. Yeah. But I'm talking about this was doing it to me before I seen that documentary.
No, they talk about shit going back to Gmail is already addictive.
So you just said you went on tour with Tony Roberts. So he goes out and speaks to the people, and then you come out in the suit, and then you speak to them after?
Yeah.
Holy moly.
So one of the things I talk about at a speaking engagement where I tell people, I say, look, I'm not religious, man. I believe in God. But one of the stories out of the Bible, one of the most famous stories is what? Is Adam and Eve. What did Eve bite?
Apple?
She bit the apple. Look at the logo on your fucking phones. It's a bitten apple. So therefore, everybody biting that bitch right now.
Did Pitbull just drop science?
Nah, that little bit of knowledge.
We're no longer going to be number one on Apple Podcasts anymore.
Oh, shit.
No, that's all good.
It's all good. We don't care. But that's crazy. You know what I said on the rhyme? I said, most people holding their phones, it's like they two hands holding your phone. It's like you pray to it.
Yeah.
Think about it. Like that's what you're actually doing. You're actually sitting there and praying to this device.
It's a cell phone, baby. It's a cell phone for a reason. You're prisoner to the phone. You're in a cell.
Hey, like, we're saying Islam right now. Call Farrakhan. Yo, come on. That's ill. That's ill.
So you saw that film?
Social dilemma?
You see it too?
Not only I saw it.
That's what it's called. Yeah.
Not only I saw it. I'm sorry. But it's social dilemma. So I not only saw it, the day that I saw it, I'm talking to my wife. My wife is just standing there in the kitchen just like this. And I'm just like, so I wanted to see how long it would take her to break out of the curse. This is like the curse. And the next day she watched it. She's like, "That's what you was doing to me yesterday." Because I just stood there and just let her just like, and then the next day I didn't even tell her to watch it because our phones is connected. The next morning she just woke up and watched the shit. She was like, "Oh, okay, that's what you." Every hour of the day, I don't know if I ever shared this. I think I did. 1 hour of the day, I take my phone away.
You've talked about that.
I take my phone away.
I'm still on a BlackBerry, dog.
What?
We live in a world of criticizing thinkers. I come from a world of being a critical thinker. I like to listen. I like to look at shit, break it down, and then so when someone get to talking shit, you go, okay, that's cool. I appreciate that, and I acknowledge your opinion. But what about this? It's like spades, right? Boom, and then you waiting for that last one to go. Bah! I look at Steve Gottlieb as the Castro of the music industry, a genius for all the wrong reasons. I learned a lot from that world. That's the fact. Now I look at it where, if you look at the biggest robbery in the United States of America, is student loans. So I got a chance to go to university and get paid for it, even though it was the best university, but not by music standards. When we were at TVT, we were knocking these motherfuckers out the park.
Yeah, that's the thing about it. Y'all was so successful, people didn't understand the business part of you guys.
I mean, independently, I had an album, at that time Miami sold 750,000 albums.
Goddamn.
Independently.
Goddamn.
That doesn't necessarily mean I ate off that, but I did eat off the journey. Through that, music has given me a great outlet to be able to build schools. Now, mind you, I ain't graduated from high school. Wow. But to be able to build schools and have this kind of conversation, I know they love to watch our show and the whole nine. Right. That's why when we first had the conversation, I said, hey man, if I come on, let's just make sure I'm all about having fun. If I love to get loose.
No, we gonna have fun and get loose.
You feel me? For sure. But making sure that the kids, when we speak about certain things and let them know that what we've come from and all the obstacles in life and nobody ever believing in us one way or another, that through music, it's giving us a chance to build a school. Well, I mean, we're up to 11 now with 10,000 kids, man. By the way. I appreciate it. Now, the thing is that between the Latin culture, blacks, Caribbean, anything that has to do with anything that moves African, we all relate. And that's one thing about hip-hop. Yeah, hip-hop, what I love about hip-hop is that hip-hop brought everybody together, not through color, through poverty. Like if you were jammed up, shit, I relate to you. So your story, something not your story that I would listen to, I'm going, damn, that happened to me. And that was the difference. It wasn't really a color thing. It was more of When you're in poverty, it don't matter what color you are. You black, white, pink, purple.
Yeah,
you're going, you got bread, I got sugar. You got butter, I got soup. You got this, you got that. How can we help each other?
You got Kool-Aid, I got sugar.
Plenty of it, huh? Let that thing sit at the bottom, watch out.
Exactly.
You know? But where I'm going with it is that no longer is it's not that right now. Now they're trying to find ways to divide everything that we got going on. Everything that we've built, to be honest with you. And it has a lot to do with these tech companies, and I'm glad that you brought up Social Dilemma, because Social Dilemma is all about that. I mean, it's selling dope online, bottom line. So who's the cartel? Is Medellin the cartel? Is Cali the cartel? Is Sinaloa the cartel?
Because you know why it's worse than dope? Because at some point on dope or on any other substance abuse, you actually realize that you're hitting rock bottom. You will never realize you're hitting rock bottom on
But they
social
said
media.
in Social Dilemma, he has a great line. It says, you don't know, how are you going to know the matrix if you don't know you're in the matrix? You feel me?
Nah, and the other great line,
and the users.
The users.
Say it.
He said only two industries that call their customers users is software companies and drug dealers.
Illegal drugs. So
Are we bigging up Social Dilemma right now?
No, I mean, we got no stocks in Social Dilemma. We're documentary.
We don't.
It just spoke to us. You know what I'm saying?
But it is what it is. And I hope that we, especially for the generation coming up, we wake them up. You feel me? Because it was different even, you know what you should do during this one? Look up when I spoke at the Songwriters Hall of Fame.
Songwriters Hall of Fame.
Songwriters Hall of Fame in New York.
Check it out.
It was me, Jay-Z, Berry Gordy, Ed Sheeran, Bon Jovi, all of us got, but I went off on that. Tom can get you. He can get you the footage, and where I went with it is because 30 to 40% of all these social platforms owe all their evaluations to music. If it wasn't for music, be no Facebook. If it wasn't for music, wouldn't be no Apple.
Nothing goes
viral.
viral.
Facebook, it wouldn't be no goddamn Twitter, Chitter, Clitter, Clatter, Snapchat, TikTok, TikTok, whatever you want to call it. You know what I'm saying? So all of that, there's a lot of money getting stuck to the gum under the table for artists that help blow that up, Spotify, all of that. And I'm a big advocate on that, because if you put the numbers together, me personally, I got close to, at this point, 20 billion views on YouTube.
Let's talk about
official,
that.
right?
Let's talk about
but if I had a dollar, and I appreciate y'all clapping it up, but y'all being some Miami boys at this point, clap it up when each one of them are worth $1 and I come back with $20 billion. Wow. So therefore, that's where it's at.
But that's only on YouTube though.
That's just YouTube. That's not even talking about the streaming game.
Okay, yeah.
But that's just me.
Okay.
I'm just saying if we get this message out to people, it's like, yeah, them numbers look nice, but that's a facade. That's just smoke and mirrors. That shit don't mean nothing. So it's a bunch of views to make some other company a bunch of bread. That at the end of the day, we're the driving force. So it goes back to that independent mentality. It goes back to what Luke drove in me. It goes back to my grandmother being a rebel next to Fidel Castro. My aunt being a political prisoner in Cuba. My mother fleeing through Pedro Pan, Peter Pan. My father bringing over Mario Boatlift. That's our mentality. We look at shit and we going, what you mean we can't take that? Of course we can. It just may be more chest than checkers.
Creed. I just feel rich right now.
Yeah, go ahead.
Creed.
I hope you get a check from Creed, though.
No, I ain't getting no check from Creed. They better holler at me.
We gotta figure this shit out. Don't we gonna get your cologne now?
And you gonna get your cologne.
Don't skip what we was talking about, guys. Come on, man.
Look, there's a lot of things happening. We're very blessed. But I go back to, if every view we got $1 for, if I'm at 20 billion views, it'd be $20 billion.
And what label you signed to now?
I don't got a label that I'm signed to, but we're independent.
But you got tech incubators that you sponsor, right?
We're a part of it's called Emerge Americas, which is all the startups coming out of Latin America, that they were all shut down in Silicon Valley, Silicon Alley, Silicon Paradise. But here, we've given them a platform.
Right.
We've had that for 8 years with a partner of mine, and it's been great for us, to be honest with you. And we've created, I think, 2 unicorn companies at this point, meaning companies that are worth more than $1 billion. And mind you, I'm glad that Teach is here, by the way, showing up, talking about, hey, I see you show up Olo, but you see how it is? I just show up Olo, and somehow, some way, them angels show up, you feel me? Right. And Teach was one of the first guys to ever put me on to tech at that level. I would say maybe 2011 or 2012, Teach put me on the Uber, if I'm not mistaken, right? So he's always had his eyes on that. When it comes to me and I see opportunity, I just always look at how do we get a piece of what they got going on and earn our keep. Now, I'm not trying to take food out your mouth. Right. I'm just trying to bring food to the table.
Mutually beneficial. That's it.
That's it. So through music now and everything that's come to life, if artists were to in layman terms, wake the fuck up, they would see that if you bring everybody together, the kind of numbers that we can bring together, we can run a network. We can run them boys to cut a certain deal. But everybody's so caught up in this vanity and this bullshit that if you look at the names, it's called followers and likes. I've never been around followers and likes. I've been around leaders and unique. I run around motherfuckers that's different. You're different. EFN different. Crazy Hood was different. Teach different. Everything, Mauricio different. Anything we ever did, we were different at what we did. And that's why we attracted to each other and then wanted to help each other. So believe it or not, I looked forward to, for a long time, to have this kind of conversation, because where I'm out and about, I have to be almost every interview I do is like a goddamn fucking deposition. Right. Yeah. And I'm like, damn, careful what you speak right here. You know, you're on MSNBC, you're on CNBC, you're on this, you're on that. Places that you would never think that you're on Bloomberg. Yeah. Which, mind you, they looking at me like, this boy's a throwaway. Which we already know that feeling, right? Right. I'm looking at their game going, oh, you don't even know what's about to happen. Okay. Which is basically putting out a concert in this world that we're living in right now, whether it's a pandemic, scandemic, pandemic, whatever you want to call it. But either or, in this day and age, I'm hoping that people see as quick as you get it. It's like dope money. Come quick, leave quicker. So when it comes to this technology, exactly what it is. You got instant gratification thing. You can touch as many people with it as quick as they want to go. Whoop, they can pull it from you. And right now we're talking about, are we talking about a virus? A virus, that's what we talk about, SARS, MERS, bird, swine, Ebola, now Corona. Like, come on, folks. I mean, you gotta read the tea leaves, bro. The devil's in the details. And with that said if you look at the recovery numbers on what we're talking about, I don't know what it is, but I guess the flu went on vacation on this year. Heart attacks went on vacation this year. Everything went on vacation this year when it came to, I'm talking about, what we're going through right now. Right. Okay. And let's just call a spade a spade. And the reason I can have this conversation is because my family comes from communism. They fled communism. They had everything taken away from them. Everybody got murdered. Everybody got killed. And that's the reason me, being a first generation Cuban American, or maybe us, being first generation Cuban Americans, I look at freedom and I appreciate that shit. I appreciate opportunity. I appreciate anything that you give me. All I need is a little slip, partner, and I got you. And that comes from the fact that when a Castro took over everything, and I'm looking at what's going on right now, the only person here that's hot, 38 hot, is Castro. He's going, y'all did it with a virus? Shit. Y'all took over the world with a virus? Y'all gotta be kidding me. He had missiles pointed to the United States of America during the Russian missile crisis, during the Bay of Pigs and what they went on through. So this shit gets deep. The only thing is do you want to realize how deep it is? You know, that's the way I look at this shit. And even going into this, I don't know if y'all know about this, but might as well put it out there, especially in y'all show, because y'all got folks that need this more than anybody. We all need it. There's a rehearsal that went on before this whole shit. Is called Event 201. October 18th, 2019. This shit came out. It was ran by the Johns Hopkins University, which is in cahoots with Bill Gates, Melinda Gates Foundation. And this was a complete rehearsal of what we did right now. You can look at this up. Don't listen to me.
Patent too, just to let them know they names
and they had a patent.
Actual patent for coronavirus. From 2004, they up like a patent. They names is on it.
So therefore, you have a segment where it says segment financial, what we gonna do? Segment travel, what we gonna do? Segment, what we gonna do when it comes to online? And it said if anybody is not a part of the narrative, we're gonna take it off online, which to me smells like communism. Right. You feel me? And obviously that's what our families live through, and I'm sure all of our families have similar stories. After Buddy and them did that, which the main doctor that was there, his name was George Fugao. I might not remember the verse off fucking the verse I was trying to spit, but I remember George Fugao. All right, George Fugao is the main doctor for the CDC in China and a virologist out of Wuhan. They're real shit now, right?
I'm listening. We here.
Now here's where I go. After all of that, happens to be about a month later, all the main CEOs in the world, partner, major companies, resign. About 1,000 and some change. So that means they pull out high. That means they take the ride high, and then they buy low. Well, everything went whoom. God knows what they did or they didn't do. But I'm talking about Disney, Hulu, Microsoft, Nike, Wells Fargo, Boeing, you name it. You look at them. And this is the part that I gotta talk to the world about, is that's the tail wagging the dog, partner. While y'all worried about followers and likes and who's on TikTok and Instagram. Mind you, when I was growing up, and Instagram was real simple. Here's a 20 bag, here's an Instagram. No.
Right, that's a
fact. Real shit. So I know I'm gonna give you this and you gonna get high. Now it's like, hey, look, by the way, here's an Instagram. I want you to picture the bag, the product in it, and I promise you it's gonna get you high.
Man, fuck it.
Bro, continue though.
But all I'm saying is, look, man, I hope everybody wake up with what we got going on, and bottom line, what it is, people so connected, they disconnected. And they take so many pictures, they miss the big picture.
Let me ask you a question.
I got one very serious question.
Yeah, give me the now.
Very serious. That's serious. You need ass, I'm sure you.
And more than anything, just to highlight the fact that due to music, we get a chance to do what everybody should do in their own community. Build schools, partner. That's the only way we break up what the fuck is going on right now. Other than that, it's just gonna be game on top of game on top of game on top of game.
Well, no,
the only way is invested.
Build schools with the correct teaching in the school. The
correct
curriculum.
Yeah, for sure.
We could build a school, but if they teaching the same
curriculum ain't gonna be
that don't benefit us.
Yeah, so the school that we built is called SLAM, and mind you, if you want to look it up, you can see what they do. But SLAM is Sports, Leadership, Arts, and Management. We've had it for 8 years. The last 3 classes, we've graduated at 100%.
Beautiful.
You know what I'm talking about?
That's real.
97% of the kids that we got in there on free lunch. So these are kids that need it. They're coming from Overtown, Alapata, Wynwood, Little Havana, Liberty City. We're pulling them all out of the inner city and bringing them to a school exactly that. You got teachers that believe in them.
Yeah.
Now, since we manage the teachers, we manage the administrators, we're able to manage the curriculum.
I fire.
So therefore, this ain't like a public, how can I say, it's a public school, but it's not run by the public school district.
Yeah.
So the the metrics are different. And if a teacher bring home some, knock it out the park with some test scores, then they get incentivized in a different way, where now you can go from a teacher to maybe an assistant principal to a principal to
the
whatever.
Teachers are getting paid accordingly to what they're doing.
Not only paid, but also accomplishment-wise, as far as where you're going in the game. It takes certain teachers in the public school system 10 years just to say, hey, I hope I got a paycheck for the rest of my life.
Right, which is terrible.
Exactly. Right. Now, I'm sure that everybody here, we went through the public school system.
All of us, yeah.
So to me, that's a part of our legacy, and more than anything that's going on in the world right now. That's when anybody want to take a stance for anything and say, look, man, invest in your community, invest around your folks, and then that's how you can be uplifted. Instead of crabs in the bucket, is the opposite. We get to the top, tip the bucket over, and we all run off and become solid, come back and help each other. It's a what now?
Ladders
in the bucket. Yes, sir. There you go. Dale que tú puedes, ya tú sabes la jugada. I want to say, first of all, John, I really appreciate it. Thank you so much, and congratulations to everything that you've done in your career, and definitely opened doors for someone such as myself. And I want to start off by saying this. What a true honor, and same way Ed Sheeran said, I think it's almost before our time to be amongst such amazing names and what they've done to change the world and inspire such people such as myself. And me being a first-generation Cuban-American with a grandmother that was a part of the revolution next to Fidel Castro and figured out that was the wrong move. But she fought for freedom. I had an aunt that was a political prisoner, abuela, tia. My mother came over Operation Peter Pan from Cuba to Indiana, didn't know the language. 7 years later, got a chance to see her mother again. My father won the lottery in Cuba, which is, you don't win no money, it means get the fuck out of here, you just got freedom. And he brought boats over in the Mario boat lift. The Mario boat lift shaped my life. Not only when I was born, right when everything happened, I learned, man, I grew up in an environment that I thought it was everybody's normality. When I grew up around this environment and everything that I was watching was going on, built my character, built a fighter, built struggle, built sacrifice, built what it is to fight in this industry, what it is to fight in life, and more than anything, to fight for motherfucking freedom. Okay? I don't mean to disrespect in any way, shape, or forms when it comes to certain words, but that's just passion. And guys, to be up on this stage with the likes of Berry Gordy, who has changed the world, Smokey Robinson, who I just got a chance to shake his hand and say it's an honor, what a blessing. Someone such as a Jay-Z, that not only is someone that I admire, look up to as an artist, a businessman, but was a therapist to me when I was running around doing certain things that I know I shouldn't have been. Okay? I've never been a troublemaker, always been around some trouble. That's why they brought up John Leguizamo tonight. And I want to say something. I owe everything that I do to my mother, my grandmother, my aunt, because a woman made me a man at the end of the day. And I'm the first one to always tell y'all, look, I appreciate it to Songwriters Hall of Fame as far as for the award. I always say my kids can't eat awards, but I'll tell you this much. To put me in this room right now is priceless, and it is a true fairy tale. Okay? And with that said, music has given me the opportunity to build schools in communities that need them. One of my old neighborhoods, I got a chance to build a school in. Okay? To do things that really help at the end of the day. One of the neighborhoods I lived in is called Wynwood. They say, don't talk about it, be about it. And when it comes to that, with music giving me the opportunity to be able to build schools, graduate kids, take them to universities, and allow them to make educated decisions so they don't run into all the bullshit that's going on in this country right now. It's why it's an honor to be up here. So with that said, guys, let's take music and literally create our own freedom. We are the reason that these companies are evaluated at multi-billions of dollars. We are the reason that these companies build their companies. We are the reason that these tech guys get a chance to put on jeans and a t-shirt and act like they know what the fuck they're talking about. Okay? And we have to fight and get that back, because we created that for them. If you want to talk in a business sense, we're 30 to 40% of any market share when it comes to a Google, an Apple, YouTube, Twitter, an itter, a glitter, a chitter, a clitter, Instagram. Because when I grew up, Instagram was different. It was an instant gram, yes. But at least I know when I got that gram, I was going to get high. Now, it's bullshit. So with that said, guys, let's do what we do best. Let's make this for real the United States, not the divided states on what they're trying to do. Okay? Let's take our music that moves millions of people, not only in this country, and us being the country that if we sneeze, everybody catches a cold. Us being the most powerful country that everybody's looking up to, and we got a donkey running this thing right now. And let's take these platforms and really speak about the things that we should be doing, because our music is not only powerful, it's the universal language. It sees no barriers, no limits, no boundaries, no cultures, no religion, nobody who you vote for, and it brings everybody the fuck together on how we're supposed to do this. So once again, guys, it's a true honor. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to be up here. To everybody in this room, guys, I always tell people, why dream when you can live it? And I'm living it tonight. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it there, Doc.